Awesome! So I'm super excited you guys have sort of seen the power of dark pool prints, looked at some of the first investments that you'll see with them, and how they can actually have an impact. Now what I want to do in this chapter, and what's so critical once you actually see these really big orders, or these groups of really big orders, usually with individual stocks it's just going to be one or two orders that have literally hundreds of thousands if not millions of shares, is actually identify, okay, well now that you know the price that people are buying or selling a whole bunch at, you don't know which one yet, unless obviously there's a huge gap between the current price and the execution price. Now that you actually see, saying it's a normal price, like now that you see a normal spot price, how do you know, okay, well, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? And that's really the core of this chapter here, is figuring out, okay, bearish above, bullish below, and then how to actually find those prices, which is super critical. And this is really something that'll come more with experience, but it's really great to have that foundation so that you're starting like already up that hill and there's just a little bit more to go through just experience doing it, which is pretty cool. So she goes into this chapter talking about this idea of like technical indicators, which are huge. You definitely want to use what you've been learning with technical analysis to leverage these dark pool indicators. I mean, 100%, like all the trades I make with dark pool stuff, it's all in junction with technical analysis. And I mean, you guys, if you combine these two, you'll literally be unstoppable. It's so valuable. It's just huge. It's so powerful because I'm just so excited for you guys to be learning this. Basic foundation is that if it goes up, whatever the price level it is, the print level, if it goes up, then you buy. And if it goes down, then you sell. Now the key is, how do we actually figure out what these price levels are? Here's the foundation. It all kind of comes down, and what she focuses on here is consolidation, right? And we talk about this in the book. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. She gives an example with PayPal. This idea of like a stock kind of going sideways, right? And so if it goes sideways, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? You don't really know unless you have dark pool prints. So here's kind of an example. She has PayPal, and dude, I was at the gym yesterday and someone had this PayPal shirt on. That was the funniest thing ever. Basically what she saw was a 998,000 share trade at 9,900 shares at $47 or $49.60. Now, just to give you some perspective on this chart, this is like $51 and this is $47 right here. So there was a massive trade at like $49.60, which is basically what the price was, right? After this one, they saw another one, and this second one was 800,000 shares at $49.75. So very similar price, but you can see you've kind of got two different prices here. But in conjunction, you're looking at like 1.6 million shares of a $50 stock. That's 80 million. That's a lot of money. And so because of that, what you want to do is you want to sort of look at both of these and say, okay, well, considering that there were two people that are getting in this trade and the second person got in higher than the last person, what it likely means is that maybe they're not able to buy as much at a low price. People are selling it for more, right? And so I want you guys to think about this. You got two ways this can go. It can go up and it can go down. And with your trade, you want to enter it if it goes up or if it goes down. So the entry point that she used on this trade was $49.75. If it goes above $49.75, closes above $49.75, and the down point was $49.50. So notice that these are kind of like tighter trades. Definitely, a little bit more close, especially if you're trading like a bigger stock like PayPal, a pretty big company, then you're gonna have sort of tighter spreads. But what you're doing is you're just kind of looking at this right here, and you're looking at this right here to think, okay, well, if it goes above that, it's probably gonna go up a bunch. But also you want to limit your downside, right? So you don't want it to go super far without you getting in. And so you just would look and say, okay, well, it's at $49.60, $49.70, so buy at $49.75, sell at $49.50, and we'll see more examples with this technology and with this terminology later. But really the key here is you want to kind of keep it tight, and it's all based around these spreads, and it's all based around these prints, because again, this is a lot of shares, and so you can kind of trust those price levels since somebody just bet literally $50 million on that price level, or somebody just $40 million on that price level. If someone's willing to bet that much on it, you can bet that it's a pretty strong support resistance price level, right? And so you can get really close to it, only away by a couple of cents, and use that as sort of your entry point. And so that's really cool stuff. It's cool. Basically, after this happened, like the candles started closing on the 15-minute candles, and they were sort of closing above the prices that these guys were buying at. And so what they did is they saw that the prices were going up, and they bought calls. They bought calls because the price was above the print, and then also a lot of volume, right? You want to make sure you have a lot of volume. That's really, really critical, because that's going to really support the underlying price movement, which is super, super cool. You guys kind of gone through the technical stuff, and you understand your moving averages and you know, all these basic technical indicators. Stephanie doesn't really use a whole lot of those, but there are two things that she really loves. She really, really likes the 4 exponential moving average and the 8 exponential moving average. And I've seen these work really, really well if you're doing like daily swing trades, especially on larger stocks, or if you're looking at like larger indices. These are really solid for kind of bigger stocks. Again, usually I'm investing in stocks that have more potential to move, more upside. But if you're trading something bigger like PayPal, definitely worthwhile to use the 4 and the 8 exponential. And this is what she uses on this trade. And one of the biggest entry points for her was that these guys actually closed above, the 8 exponential moving average. So because they closed above the 8 exponential moving average, that was another reason for her to actually go in and buy those calls, right? Which is exactly what happened. Another bullish sign, right? You always want to have more and more and more. And then there's some screenshots here you can kind of see. You've got, you know, 2 million shares here, 880,000 there, 1 million there. Just a lot of really, really, really big trading activity. And a cool little note here, we've kind of seen this a couple of times, so I want to point it out to you. We talked earlier about Inca, I-N-C-A, as a common dark pool exchange. Another one that we see here, and we see a lot, and we saw it on Facebook, was actually NQNX. So you can kind of add that one. You've got, you know, I-N-C-A, and then also NQNX. Those are, again, just some common order routes that dark pool orders go through. So good to watch out for that one. Really, anything over a couple 100,000 shares is going to mostly be in dark pools, just because of that idea of getting a good price. But definitely important if you're looking at the level 2 and you see NQNX, that's a common dark pool. Somebody anonymously trying to sell a lot of it. And then over the next couple of days, what's cool is like PayPal, over just a couple of days, they went all the way up to 51 bucks. So again, not like a massive move, but you know, if the calls on this are like 50 cents, you can double, triple your money. These guys were at 40-30% on their calls, which is super, super cool. The goal again is to use this kind of more volatile stocks, because you know, a $1 movement on a $50 stock is like 2%, and it's cool because like you can easily predict that 2%. If you're making 2% on, you know, $50 million, $60 million, like that's awesome. You also kind of want to have those higher percent returns. So definitely, what's cool is like this is a really cool way to scale, right? So if you base this trade and you make 2% on like, you know, a $100 million position, like that's awesome. And at the same time, you can leverage it with options and make 30, 40, 50% in just a couple of days. I mean, 40% in 2 days is really, really, really great. And what happened next is actually really interesting. So originally here, this was kind of just like a normal, you know, entry point, normal trade, and it was just a normal entry. But then what happened is they saw late buy prints. And what happened was so crazy, is that people were like buying the stock. They were dark pool orders executing at 49.47 when the stock was at like 51 bucks. And so you can tell that if the stock, these trades are executing at 49.47 times like 500,000 shares, and then there's like 3 of these times 3 orders, which is like 1.5 million shares traded at 49.47. While the stock is at 50.85, right? So here's the deal. You've got the stock. The stock is way up here at 50.85, and these orders are being executed at 49.47. So the orders are being executed much lower than the actual current price. And that's when you know that you have a late buy, is when the price is way higher than the actual trade price. And that's very, 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 very bullish. And so what's cool is that this 2% gain you have now looks like it can be a lot more, because you've got more people buying. And again, supply, demand. If more people are buying, the price is going to go up, right? And that's exactly what the goal is here. And so again, this is this concept of like scaling out of your positions. So some of these guys that were taking like 40% profits, they were scaling out slowly, maybe sell a quarter, sell a half, or just get in again. Because they saw this happening, what they did is they just kept going. They kept entering the trade because there was more people, there was more dark pool activity, and you could tell based on the price of the stock being above what the dark pool activity was at, that this activity was actually buying. It was a late buy print. And they bought again at 52.5, so buying sort of like out of the money calls. 52.50. These guys did really well. If you look at the chart, what's cool here is that this was sort of on this was on a Monday, and PayPal hadn't actually traded at 49.47 since last Friday. So that's again another way that you know that you have a late sell print is if you look at the open, high, low, close for the day. If you look at the trading range didn't actually include 49.47. The 49.47 was way below what it was actually trading at. So that's how you know that this must have happened, you know, yesterday or, you know, Friday if it's over the weekend. Because this is in the past, right? And so that's again another way that you look at these late buy candles, late buy prints, is by looking at the actual price that it gets executed at. And if it gets executed below the low of the day, then you know that this was delayed 24 hours or something like that, so that no one would see it. And this was actually somebody buying a whole lot of the investment, which is really powerful. And this actually happened for a couple of days. They were looking at this afterwards on Thursday. And as they looked at this stuff on Thursday, they realized that the price hadn't actually been as low as 49.47 since Monday. So they're looking at like 3 days delayed, which is huge. So a lot of trades here, a lot of people buying through the dark pools, then delaying their trades so that no one would know. And it just happened over and over again. And because of that, guess what happened? Everyone's freaking buying. The price kept going up. 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 The stock went to $53, and you know, they were buying calls that were like half a cent, or not half a cent, half a dollar, and now they were worth $1.50, and they were taking 77% profits, right? Which is huge. It actually went to like 53, you know, 85. It just absolutely crushed it, blew it out of the water. Because not only was it like somebody buying originally, but it was multiple people buying. People kept coming in, people kept buying, and just kept pushing it up to that price target at kind of 53.87, which was a brand new high. Kind of a really powerful trade there. People that she you know, works with some of her mastermind friends, and they were making 600% on this trade. Because, you know, you get in at 47 and you buy like calls at 50, 51. You get in at 49, you get in at 50, you buy 51 calls, 52 calls, and then it goes like 54 bucks. Like, you're basically, you know, that 600% gain, man. That's really good. And again, that was in the span of about a week and a half. So, you know, if you can make, you know, 600% in a week and a half, that's really good. So again, kind of one of those opportunities where it's not like particularly like 100% guaranteed. You know, that 600%, like that's pretty huge, right? And so it's all just based off making quote like smart option investments, right? And then having the balls really to hold those investments till they actually mature and create the most value possible. And so again, you sort of see this example where, you know, the stock went up 5%, but the options went up like way more, all based on this idea of leverage, right? And that's kind of what you get with options. And that's why really great way once you sort of master this concept to scale it up is to actually use those options to have that maximum impact possible, which is really cool for these guys. I mean, it's just insane results created from that, which is super awesome. So that's sort of one of our core foundational examples here. Really getting into late buy prints and seeing some of the really awesome power and the predictive power of them to actually understand exactly where an investment's going to go. Again, sort of based on this idea that if everyone's buying, it's probably going to freaking go up. And that's exactly what happened here. Really, really cool stuff. And you want to sort of look for this opportunity where you see prices getting executed at one level, but the market's way above it. And so you know that, you know, they probably bought a whole bunch and then it went up a whole bunch, and then it'll continue to keep on going. So cool stuff, guys. Hope you get a ton of value from this module. Go out there, apply it, absolutely crush it. And I will see you in the next module. Thank you so much. Bye.